Coming to you from the Lydia Media Studios in the heart of Lewiston, Auburn, it's Lydia's Lunch Bunch, LA's afternoon morning show with Mark, Sarah, and Pam. We're covering news and events in the greater LA area and talking to the people making a difference in our community. Give us a listen at lydiamediallc.com or wherever you get your podcasts. And feel free to share your comments, questions, or suggestions via email at podcast@lydiamediallc.com.
Today's show is brought to you by United Piping, serving residential and commercial customers with new installations and repairs. Call today and schedule your oil and gas boiler cleanings at 754-4556. UPI, the best plumbers around. And by Ruper's Beverage and Redemption, when it comes to beer, wine, and spirits, don't botch it, squatch it. At 5 locations in Lewiston, Auburn, and Oxford. Learn more at rupersbeverage.com, and remember, the party starts at Ruper's.
Our guest in studio today is the administrator for the Chapman House, Bonnie Iwans. How you doing, Bonnie?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Good.
Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
At our new digs.
Yes.
Right? Mm-hmm. Sarah, Bonnie, and I go way back. way back up the road a ways. And she's making her Lydia's Lunch Bunch debut today. We're going to talk to Bonnie all about the Chapman House and a whole lot more coming up here in just a bit. But right now, let's take a look at some headlines for Monday, January 6th.
In response to frigid temperatures in the forecast, the City of Auburn has activated warming centers at Norway Savings Bank Arena and the Auburn Public Library. The arena will be open from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. today and tomorrow, and the library from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. today and 9 to 6 tomorrow. The Lewiston Warming Center at 551 Lincoln Street and New Beginnings for ages 18 to 24 at 436 Main Street are open from 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. The Trinity Jubilee Center at 247 Bates Street is open from 7:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. Monday through Saturday.
The Lewiston City Council will consider a new union contract for Lewiston police officers and detectives. One option to attract and retain officers includes adjusted wage scales, allowing staffers to reach higher wages in fewer years. The department currently has 8 vacancies.
The Auburn City Council will consider transferring properties at 143 Hampshire Street, 1 Gamage Ave, and 5 Gamage Ave to the Auburn Housing Authority to build a new Housing First development. Housing First prioritizes connecting people with housing rather than requiring them to participate in mental health or addiction treatment first. The City Council will vote on the measure during tonight's meeting.
After 1 year and 3 months in business, Sliders Sports Pub in Lewiston announced it will close its doors at the end of the month. The owners cited increased costs, increased rent, and a slowing economy. Sliders is located in the Lewiston Mall and offers food, drinks, cornhole tournaments, and live entertainment.
It's just sad.
It's very sad.
The third series of great restaurants in the Twin Cities that have gone under.
Yeah.
It's just too bad.
It's tough. I feel like we should have a whole segment having that conversation.
Yeah,
but
sure.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's sad, and I think there's just so many factors involved.
Sure.
Yeah.
But it's tough.
Yeah. Mayor Mary Bonato was honored by President Biden with the Presidential Citizenship Medal for her work as an attorney representing the LGBTQ community. She led the arguments before the U.S. Supreme Court, resulting in a ruling that legalized same-sex marriage.
Time for the weather.
I don't want to read this.
It's so cold.
It's very uncomfortable out there.
So cold.
Sunny today with a high of 28 and a low of 9. Cloudy tomorrow and Wednesday with highs in the 20s and lows in the teens.
Ugh. Sports isn't any better.
No, in sports, the Patriots had themselves a day.
What were they thinking?
Let's start there. The Patriots beat the Buffalo Bills. On any other day, that would be good news.
It's not good news.
But yesterday, not so good. The final score was 23-16 Pats, and they fell from the first-round draft pick to the 4th as a result of the win. And they also fired their head coach, Gerard Mayo, and they finished the season in last place in the AFC East with a 4-13 record.
It's just so ridiculous.
I mean, but at what point do you throw a game where it's not obvious that you're throwing a game? And the players that are on the field are still trying to show their skill, because if they're backups, maybe they want to show their skill to potentially not be backups anymore.
To not be on the worst team in the league.
What do you do in that situation?
You lose.
You lose.
You lose
take
on
your
purpose,
first round draft
and
pick
you get the first
walk
round draft
away.
pick, and you build your team from that.
So
Terrible.
hard. It goes against everything you've ever done.
That's okay. Just do it for 3 hours.
Do it.
That's all you got to do.
Just gotta. Your fans will understand.
Yeah, they scored touchdowns and were getting booed yesterday.
Yeah, I didn't watch it, obviously. It was-
So, did you predicted the Bills might not bother to play their best players?
Oh, they didn't.
They were just like, here, go.
Yeah.
Neither team
This guy
did, did
cleans
they?
the
No.
equipment. Let's send him in.
So the Bills used 3 quarterbacks. Josh Allen, their starter, has a streak going for consecutive games started. So he played 1 snap and then came out of the game.
He's like, I'm not breaking
And then they
that.
put in their second stringer, and then they put in their third stringer.
And they still.
And
yeah.
the Bills are division rivals, so they're not going to want the Patriots to have the first round draft pick.
No.
So they didn't care.
They're like, we're not.
Yeah,
gonna
they're
play
already in
that
the
hard.
playoffs. They had nothing to play for. Anyway,
Jeez Louise.
yeah, go Pats.
And then on top of that,
Bonnie, are you a Pats fan?
No.
No? Well, good, because you see what it does to us.
yeah, we know. In addition to that travesty, the Bruins lost to the New York Islanders, in a 5-4 in overtime. Boston has lost 4 in a row, and they will host the Edmonton Oilers tomorrow night, and I will be there. I will be
Well,
there.
bring them some luck, will
I
you?
don't know what's going to happen.
Because they need you.
Yeah.
They need something.
Come on, Sarah. Go give Swayman a hug.
I know. Just be like, remember me.
Yeah, just a hug.
Remember that
Just
time?
remember me. Play for me.
And in keeping with the trend,
Yes.
the Celtics lost to the Oklahoma City Thunder 105-92. Boston will visit the Denver Nuggets tomorrow night.
They don't lose. What's going on?
Well,
Listen, here's some good news.
yeah, we have some good news.
Yeah,
with
the Maine
Nuggets.
Nordiques picked up 3 wins over the weekend. They swept the Philadelphia Rebels right out of the Colisee, winning 5-1 on Friday and 3-1 on Saturday. And then they traveled down to Connecticut, and then they just took a beating to the Danbury Hat Tricks, and they beat them 5-2 yesterday. So the Nords are going to move into second place in the NAHL East Division, and they will visit the stinking Johnstown Tomahawks this weekend.
And we resume our Maine Nordiques interviews here on the podcast
Yeah.
on Wednesday. We haven't seen them in
3 weeks.
yeah,
It's been
3
a-
weeks.
it's been a
It's been
minute.
a while.
Been a hot minute.
Yeah.
Yeah. The NA3 Nordiques dropped a pair of games to the stinking Northeast Generals, losing 2-1 on Friday and 5-2 on Sunday. The Nords visit the New Hampshire Junior Mountain Kings on Wednesday afternoon.
Bates College swept a basketball doubleheader right out of the alumni gymnasium yesterday. The men's team beat Colby 74-63, and the women trounced Wheaton 70-45. Ooh, the women's team will host Babson tomorrow at 5 p.m.
That is your news, weather, and sports. And right now, it is time for the podcast segment that is Sweeping the Twin Cities. Bonnie doesn't know what to make of us yet. It is.
She's just enjoying the ride.
It is time for famous people birthdays.
They're famous. It's their birthdays. It's famous people birthdays. It's famous people birthdays.
Let's take a look at FPBs for January the 6th, shall we?
Yeah.
Alrighty then. We're going to start off with Kate McKinnon.
God, she is amazing.
She's incredible.
amazing.
41 years old today.
She's a gosh darn treasure.
And why, Sarah?
She's hilariously funny.
She sure is.
She's so funny. She can do anything. I
Yep.
really think she could do anything. I think if you said, here, play a serious role, she could do that too.
Yep.
But she's a great actress. She's super funny. She's been on Saturday Night Live. She's done sketch comedy. She's awesome.
Also a musician and a singer.
Yeah.
As well.
She's
She's wonderful.
She's just
Yep.
amazing.
Actor Norman Reedus is 56 years old today. You know him as Daryl from The Walking Dead.
Oh.
Any Walking Dead fans here?
I did watch The Walking Dead.
How many seasons did you get through?
All of them.
All of them. Wow. Was Daryl one of your favorite characters?
No.
No?
No.
How come? He went through like a year or two where he was just on top of the world.
Yeah.
People go nuts for
No,
Daryl.
I was for the underdog.
Okay. I didn't know this. Norman Reedus, rather, was also in the Boondock Saints.
Oh. I
As
didn't know
well
that either.
as Bob Marley,
He
comedian
was a
Bob
I knew
Marley.
former
that.
fashion model, too.
What? Wow.
He's got that look.
Does he?
He does like with the greasy hair. Waif-like.
He's a greasy fashion model.
Greasy fashion.
Yeah. He also starred in music videos for Lady Gaga,
Oh.
Keith Richards, REM, and Radiohead and Marilyn Manson.
Wow.
There you go.
Some interesting videos, I
Yeah.
imagine.
So-
Marilyn Manson's like, I need a greasy fashion model. They're like,
Also like zombies.
Norman Reedus is your guy.
have we got
guy.
a guy for you?
I've got a...
Pro Football Hall of Famer Howie Long is 65 years old today. He played for the Raiders for 13 seasons and was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2000 and now works for Fox Sports on their NFL coverage. Actor and comedian extraordinaire Rowan Atkinson is 70 years old today.
So
Mr.
good.
Bean.
Mr. Bean, my goodness.
Blackadder.
He can do it all. Johnny English.
So funny.
Yes. He also had an I think it was an HBO special back in the day. It was an hour-long sketch comedy that was essentially a one-man show, and it was phenomenal.
He was also in Love Actually. And he
Yes.
was great in that movie because he
Was.
just sort of... He made things happen. I don't know what he was supposed to be, but he felt to me like he was kind of like a little bit of an angel character. Like he was just like...
He sold him the gold necklace.
He-
That is not an angel.
He did, but remember how long it took him to do it?
Yes, true. He was like, "Are you sure you really want to do this?"
And then in the end, he made it so that the little boy could get through the
Yes.
gate. So I don't know. I love Rowan Atkinson. I think he's hilarious.
Isn't that your favorite movie ever, Pam? Yeah.
one of them.
One
Yes.
of them. Gotcha. Atkinson was listed in The Observer as one of the 50 funniest actors in British comedy and also among the top 50 comedians ever in a 2005 poll of fellow comedians.
Wow.
Yeah, I can't argue with that. I'd put him in the top 10 easily.
Sure. Yeah.
Easily. Those are your FPBs for January the 6th.
Whether you want a sit-down meal or a grab-and-go, Pat's Pizza in Auburn offers delicious sandwiches, pasta, salads, and pizza at family-friendly prices. Pat's Pizza, serving the L.A. area since 1985. Open daily from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. at 85 Center Street in Auburn. Online at patsauburn.com.
Don't miss the January issue of Uncle Andy's Digest, featuring Greater Lewiston Auburn's 30th annual Best Businesses for 2024, plus a Valentine's Day gift guide, events calendar, shout-outs, and plenty of one-liners and jokes guaranteed to put a smile on your face. And be sure to visit UncleAndys.com and enter to win the Sweethearts Contest. You and your sweetie will appear in the February issue and could win a Valentine's Day gift basket. Uncle Andy's Digest, your local guide to, well, just about anything. Now we shift focus to our guest in studio, administrator for the Chapman House, Bonnie Iwans. I was looking at your awesome website, Bonnie, and I saw a number in there that I had to do a double take. Since 1887, the Chapman House has provided the finest care and assisted living to senior ladies who qualify for residential level care. 1887, that's accurate, right?
That is very accurate.
Oh, my
yes.
goodness.
It used to be the Auburn Home for Aged Women.
That's a long time ago. I did the research. It is a long time ago.
Yes, it is a long time ago.
Yeah. How long have you been with the Chapman House?
I've been with the Chapman House. It will be 4 years in January 25th.
So I think maybe the first time we met was your first year, because it seems like we've known each other for a little while,
yeah.
right?
Remember, I didn't know there was a pond in the courtyard. I started in the winter. It was covered with snow.
There's something out there.
There looks to be a big pit in the middle of the courtyard.
That's right.
Oh, no,
right.
Bonnie, that's just the pond.
I was like, what is that?
That's so cute.
And did you start off as the administrator?
Yes, I actually worked with the previous administrator until the state put my name on the license. So I didn't take over until March, but I spent that time learning about the facility, greeting the staff, working in the departments so that I knew what was happening in the building.
And for folks who are not in the know, could you just give us a summary of what the Chapman House is all about?
Sure. The Chapman House has the capacity to house 30 ladies. We're an assisted living building for ladies only. We provide daily 3 meals a day, snacks, personal care, medication passes, activities, housekeeping, laundry, maintenance, and socialization.
You do it all over there.
We do.
Yeah. I had the opportunity to spend a morning at the Chapman House. The ladies there, they are something.
They are.
They are.
I bet they loved you.
It was, but I mean, you had activities there. You had great food, and it was a beautiful day. It was a summer day, so we're out in the courtyard and enjoying all that the Chapman House had to offer. And I just, I could imagine if my mom needed that type of care, like feeling 100% comfortable bringing her there.
Yes, yes. So my philosophy in running that building is to make it a place where people want to be, to make it fun and non-threatening. I'm a social worker by trade, so I use that skill to teach the staff and the residents how to get along and make it a nice, cohesive building.
Yeah. And how many residents are there now?
Right now, I have 24 with 2 moving in this week.
Oh, wow. Great. And what's that process like?
So that process involves giving me a call or someone on staff. We give you a tour, hopefully within the first week of your call. And then we start to see if we can medically and socially meet the need of the person that needs to be placed. We do a background with all of the medical information, connect with the physician, and within 1 to 3 weeks, we can probably get you in-house if we have a vacancy.
Wow, that's pretty quick.
Yeah, we do have I need to back up a little bit. We do have a waiting list, and we have a ratio of main care versus private pay, so we have to stay in those guidelines as well.
And all of the rooms are private?
They are.
And each room has its own bathroom suite
It
as well?
does.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful facility. I mean, the building has been there. Tell me, there's a little something about the building that's unique, right?
Yes, so the main part of the building that's actually up the hill from here was built in 1887, and we keep it maintained very well. And then 2001 to 2004, they bought up the block and built the newer side of the building, and it's all connected with the courtyard. And then we own the whole block, so it's really cool to be able to go all the way down to Court Street, not even going off grounds.
Right.
Yeah. That courtyard is beautiful. The gazebo and the walking path. It's really beautiful. Yeah. It's just got a nice homey feel. Like the photos from your website are great because it really showcases the comfort level that you offer for people. There's a piano for people. There's sitting areas. There's fireplaces. It's just a beautiful building. It's really nice. Yeah.
And plenty of activities to keep the ladies occupied as well.
Yes.
Oh, yes, and the staff. Cheryl, our activity coordinator, she's fantastic. She has a creative mind, and she involves all of us. And we did a vintage 1915 picnic and did some of the speeches from the original building over the summer, so that was cool.
Oh, fun. You just had a super cool Christmas party, too.
Oh, we
holiday
did.
party,
we
right?
had a ho down Christmas. It was really fun.
Nice.
You had a cowboy Santa.
We did, yes, and I personally knew Cowboy Santa.
That's really
So,
sweet.
how is Cowboy Santa dressed?
He was in a Santa suit with a cowboy hat.
Okay.
Yeah, and black boots. And it was really cool because he knew the ladies' names and he knew a little bit about the ladies, so he kind of talked to them and flirted with them a little bit. So they enjoyed that.
Love it.
Cowboy Santa.
You got to watch yourself when you flirt with those ladies.
I
Mark, you know first.
know. I'm going to carry you off. They have exercise classes, so they're strong.
Yes. And it's an old building, so there's plenty of little nooks and crannies.
Dark spaces.
That's right. Bonnie, we got sidetracked a little bit. What are some of the other activities available at the Chapman House?
We try to be as individualized as possible. Obviously, as our clientele revolves, we have to learn about those people and make it to their liking, but we do a lot of artwork. The ladies went to the local museum and said if they can frame their art, so can we. So we have framed art all around the building. They do music, mind games. We have a library. We have a full library in the building, so they do reading. We have done some stamp collecting and reminiscing about olden times. We have been involving the legislative people in our building, so when it was time to vote, we actually had legislators come in and talk to the ladies about what was on the referendums.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Keeping
Very
them in
cool.
part of our community, too.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
fabulous.
And on some occasions, you also have live entertainment.
Oh,
So,
yes.
right? Yeah.
Yes. We have bands come in, speakers. We're having clientele right now that want educational speakers, so we're doing those types of things. We're going out in the community to restaurants. We went to a couple of concerts in the park during the summer, some of the state parks.
Nice. And you have transportation to bring the people that want to participate in
Yes,
those.
we have a van and an SUV.
Nice. Yeah.
Didn't you have Elvis there within the past year or so?
Oh, yes, we did.
Yeah.
Yes, we did.
How did that go?
Oh, that was so cool. We did a 1950s day, and we had Elvis come, and we all dressed as pink ladies. And actually, we were in Lydia Media. It was really, really fun.
It's so cute.
It's awesome.
Elvis threw scarves at the ladies.
Was that Robert Washington?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, he's the best.
Fantastic.
No, it wasn't.
Oh.
It was, I can't remember his name. Dagnu,
Okay.
I think.
Yeah. Okay.
But I know Robert Washington.
Yeah, he's great. Tell us about the kitchen as well, because one of the highlights while I was there, I know, was breakfast, and everybody was raving about the breakfast.
It looks like the food is incredible.
So just like activities, we have to stay on top of nutritional needs of our clients. And we have to make sure that we have appetizing food. So Jason, our chef, he's amazing. A lot of our food is from scratch. We have steak tips and baked haddock and lobster stew and really fun things. And at Christmas and Thanksgiving, he made holiday meals that were traditional for the ladies that didn't go out.
I'm hungry.
I know. I'm thinking,
Yep, I'm starting
about that.
Starting to get a little hungry over here. I think it was last year that you launched your brand new website.
Yes.
Is that accurate?
Yep, it's a year old now. And we also recently did a brochure with our current ladies featured in it. So
Aha.
that's really cool. That was a fun project to do.
Yeah, love that.
Yeah, and you can go to chapmanhouse.org and request a free brochure if you'd like
That
more
is
information,
correct.
right?
Yep.
And it's kind of a virtual tour when you get onto the website as well. There's amazing photography here and a lot of information. So be sure to check that out. How are you set for staffing right now?
We actually just need a few certified registered medication administrators that are also licensed as PSSs. I think that we have 3 or 4 full-time positions open right now. And we have managed to build a whole management team with years of experience in long-term care.
Wow.
Wow. Do you have volunteers?
We're building our volunteer program. Currently, we have one lady who comes in and does activities with the ladies. She does crafts. We have volunteers. Every aspect of our building could use a volunteer. So absolutely, if you're interested, just give me a call.
Sounds
You also
good.
have a beauty salon right on site too, right?
We do.
Yeah.
Yes. So the beautician comes in once a week, and she flexes her schedule according to the ladies' needs. So with Christmas and New Year's being on a Wednesday, she came in on Monday and stayed until everyone was beautified. And it was fun.
You want to look your best for the holidays,
Yeah.
right? That's so cute.
And we have a nail day too, where you go and get your fingernails done, and then you see the podiatrist. So it's like a pedicure, manicure, all in one.
That's important stuff too.
Yep.
Yeah. And you offer in-house banking and all kinds of other things, right? It's just
That's great.
it's like an episode of Friends, but women are all a little bit older.
I just had a birthday, and I'm getting closer to living there. So yeah,
Picking out your room.
that's right.
Bonnie's like, this one gets the best light. Let's save this one. Let's save this.
That's great.
Do
Bonnie,
you know that
I'm
Mark
sorry.
didn't know where the Chapman House was for a while?
Even though I've driven by it 1,000
You
times.
see it all the time.
It's amazing that people don't realize we're there, and that's why we hope to utilize our courtyard. And we had a band in the gazebo, so people were going by and honking and waving, and
Yeah, we're
so
right
people
there.
don't realize that we're there.
It's sort of, you see it every day, you drive by it every day, but you just don't
Yeah.
don't think in your brain of what, I mean, it's just a beautiful building.
Yeah.
It just looks like a beautiful building.
As you're driving up the street, you don't expect to see a courtyard in that
Yeah,
space.
having that full block is pretty incredible.
It is.
Yeah. You have little gardens out there too, right?
We do. We
actually.
the ladies have raised beds. So in the summer, we eat tossed salads out of vegetables that we grow. And then we want to expand that a little bit. And we have flowers. We have strawberry and rhubarb, so we can make strawberry rhubarb pies.
That's so cool.
12 pounds later.
You got to get a little orchard out there now. You need some apple trees and some pear trees or
Yeah.
something out in the courtyard. That'd be so fun.
You have our email, Bonnie. So when those pies come out of the oven,
I know,
like
yeah.
they do-
Absolutely.
And we're not far.
We're not far.
We can take a little field trip.
Even I can find it now.
The administrator loves
the
ice
hill.
cream, so we have ice cream.
Think of the number of years of experience of pie baking in your building.
Right?
Like there's like hundreds of years of pie baking experience in your building.
The history in itself, and we have the staff know the history. Like part of orientation is to know the history of the building. And when I give a tour, I point out some historical features. One of the cool things about the building is the matron's apartment is still on the 3rd floor. It's not furnished and we don't use it, but it's there.
Oh, wow.
Very neat.
Aw.
Can you share a little bit about the history of the building?
Well, it was originally over where the water district is now.
It was
then
moved.
It moved,
Yeah.
yes. So Mr. Chapman and a friend of his bought the building that we're in now. It was actually someone's residence. And then they built it to be an institutional living. So originally there were 20 ladies just in the small building that we have. And then I think Ike's Bakery was next door to it, and then they bought that out. So the building has been there since 1887. It's been a home for ladies since then. Ladies would leave their dowries to the building, so that's how they paid to be there. Some of the original furniture is still there. And they just kept growing. It was always a nonprofit charitable contribution. So, yeah, it's really cool.
Did you say some of the original furnishings are still in the building? Wow.
That's back when they made quality.
Right.
So, oh my gosh.
Furniture we buy now in 100 years, it will be disintegrated.
And I love antiques, so when I got offered that job, I'm like, I get to work in this place.
It's like working in a museum.
Yeah.
So when you applied, Bonnie, what attracted you to work at the Chapman House?
Oh, I was jobless. I had worked in healthcare since 1987 and was just tired. COVID, COVID was sad, and I had just become an administrator when COVID came into play. And I'd always been a social worker, and I was tired, so I quit. I wanted to see what I could do with myself, and then things are meant to be. I looked on Indeed, and I saw an opening at the Chapman House, and I started talking to them. And really, my attitude has always been, I know I can find a job, so I was like, if I get the job, that's good. And then I got the job, and I went into the building, and I saw the potential. I saw the changes I could make, and I got so enthused.
Yeah.
And I'm a positive person, so positivity was my theme. That's where I started. I built a management team, and I just, said, this is the way this building's going to be. And it's a place where people want to be. I want my employees to want to come to work and not have to come to work.
That's great. Well, that's how it should be.
Yeah.
For sure.
Got to find all the right people, too.
These guys drag themselves in here.
Oh, yeah.
Bonnie, have you ever considered a 4-day work week?
Wow.
Pam just almost spit out her
She
cup.
did.
It's all the rage now,
Oh,
Bonnie.
I know. Unfortunately, though, we're open 24 hours a day.
That's
and
true.
our care doesn't
Yeah.
stop.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's
Count your blessings.
I encourage teamwork, though. Team working together. We can accomplish a lot working together.
What changes have you brought to the Chapman House in the past 4 years?
I've built a management team. I did not want to run that building all by myself. It's impossible. So I built a strong management team. I have built a can-do attitude, I think.
Yeah.
And just, we're proud. We're proud. When we give a tour, it's like, let us brag about where we
Yeah.
work.
Yeah, sure.
Let us show you the features that we have.
Yeah.
And I think the attitude of, don't say I can't, say I can, and we'll figure it out. And then if it's impossible, then we'll find a different route, a different way to go.
Pam, it's like you're surrounded by two Sarahs.
And my dress has pockets.
Oh my God, I am.
There's more of us.
So you took over during COVID.
Oh.
That must have been a little challenging,
Yeah.
especially in that type of facility.
Yeah. The thing about the Chapman House is if COVID comes, it's easy to handle because all the ladies have private rooms.
Right.
The team is amazing. The things that people will do, and, I've worked in the kitchen, I've made beds, I've done laundry, I've swept the floors, I've vacuumed the floors. And just leading by example is what the whole management team does. So when we get in a crisis situation, people chip in and they help, which is amazing.
And that's got to be part of the culture that you brought.
Absolutely.
As well. Yeah. When they see you making beds, they're like, well, I have no excuse now.
They're like, hey, there's another one over here.
Yeah. She's walking the walk.
Right.
That's right.
You're like, hey, there's a door over there.
Yeah. Oh,
My
you don't want
favorite
to?
thing, I love to waitress in the dining room. I
You've
love
said that
to waitress in the
before.
dining room.
Yeah.
What part of that? Just like
So our dining room is restaurant-like. So you actually come in, sit down. A wait staff is there to give you a cold drink, a fruit. They take your order because you can order anything that's on the menu for the day, and then they bring it hot off the serving table in the
nice.
kitchen, and it's amazing.
it's like a whole experience.
It is.
Yeah. Love
I
it.
would love to go out to eat every single day for every meal.
That'd be cool.
And the residents, one of the ladies said to me one day, you got demoted? I said, no, I got promoted. Because now I get to talk to you.
That's cute. Aw.
Got demoted.
They must look forward to seeing you every day and seeing the people that they've grown accustomed to every day.
I think so. They're delighted. Like just popping into an activity when they're doing the activity or popping into the dining room. And I make a point to go into the dining room and see how their meal's going. You know, if you don't like what you're being served or it just doesn't meet your palate that day, we have always available menus. You can get a sandwich and a pickle and potato chips at lunch or, you know, cottage cheese and fruit at night or cold cereal and toast for breakfast.
Pretty easy to live there.
Yeah, I think you'd be all set.
I'd be all right. Yeah, I'd be fine.
Sarah just needs a yoga mat
I
or
just
something.
Yeah.
We'd even help you out.
Yeah.
Or call the fire department.
Someone would be there.
And you have craft fairs. I know you have one for the holidays. Do you have others as well?
So we had our second annual craft fair this year. So we try to do a craft fair every holiday time. We're thinking about doing it in the summer this year and having Christmas in July because everybody does a craft fair at Christmas.
Right.
So then we can have tables and vendors outside.
Yeah, that would be
Oh,
great.
fun. Yeah.
Do you have any crafts that are made by the residents?
Yes, and the staff. And then we raffle off our own tree. So we had a gnome tree. So we're going gnome for the holidays was the theme of it.
Oh, super cool.
Cute.
I love it. Bonnie, is there anything else about the Chapman House that you would like our listeners to know?
So we can do a temporary tenant. So if you're going on vacation or just need a break or like Sarah pointed out, maybe doing a renovation in your home and you need a place for mom to stay temporarily, if we have a vacancy, then we can try to work that out with you. That is self-pay only. So, bring us mom, bring her meds, bring her stuff, and we'll take care of her for that temporary time if we have a vacancy.
Sometimes you maybe have your own medical procedure that you need to do, and having somebody available to take care of the person you're caring for is,
A couple years ago, I had a daughter that needed knee surgery, and then her mom liked it so well that she never went back. She stayed with it.
Well, there's that.
Yeah.
Wow.
That speaks volumes.
That should be your lead story when you're doing the orientation.
That's great.
That's very cool.
And here she is.
She never left.
It's wonderful, though. I mean, building the relationships and being able to help people, that's the most rewarding thing about what we do.
What about you personally? The most rewarding part of your job?
I think the most rewarding part of my job is a sense of accomplishment and knowing that I did good. I meet people, I've been doing this since I was 22 years old, and meeting people that you helped like many years ago, you might not remember their name, but just the fact that they remember you. I have people, thanks to you and Sarah, I have people, oh my goodness, I heard you on the radio. That's where you are now? Yeah, come and see me. So it's a great marketing tool because I make it personal. Professional boundaries are there, obviously, but I care. And you need to care to work in that environment.
Wow. Mm-hmm. So you started caring for people at 22 years old. What was...
So I went to college for social work, and I was working in the deli at a local supermarket, and I found a 12-hour position in a nursing home as a social service assistant. I'm like, 12 hours? Okay. So I still worked in the deli, and I worked 12 hours, and then the building that I was working for got sold, and the social worker that I was the assistant to left, and I'm like, I can do this. So I took a leave at the deli and I went to the facility every day, and I basically did whatever they needed to have done. I worked in that facility for 17 years.
Oh.
Wow.
And then I worked in another facility for 10. And then I worked in another one for 7. And now I'm at the Chapman House.
And she still works at the deli.
I love the deli. Yeah,
I bet you did. I bet you did.
I believe that I got to wait on Bruce Springsteen. Yeah.
What?
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Almost cut my hand off. But
How do you want your Oh, no. That's cute, too.
so, yeah, I did pizza, bread, salad bar, everything. I loved it.
When you say you believe you may have served Bruce Springsteen, did you not confirm it was Bruce Springsteen?
Rumor was that he had a summer camp close to the building where I worked, and this gentleman came in on a Saturday night and he ordered and I happened to wait on him, and I'm like, "You're not," and he said, "Well, maybe I am," and I'm like, "Oh my God!"
So maybe.
Yeah. I was 19 years old. I didn't wash my hand for a week.
She just put a glove on. That's
Wow.
awesome.
That's a great story. Love it. So if folks would like more information on the Chapman House, they can go online to chapmanhouse.org. Anything else you'd like people to know?
Or call. Call us
sure.
directly. The number's 207-783-0961, and we'd be happy to show you our building and help you out.
Fantastic.
And you get to meet Bonnie.
I know, you get to meet Bonnie. And now people are going to be saying, well, Bonnie, I heard you on a podcast.
Yeah,
You're doing that now?
that's right.
And yeah. Well, not a podcast.
The podcast.
The podcast. Right.
Yeah, let's clear that up.
Yeah.
Locally owned and locally focused, Lydia Media celebrates the heart of the greater Lewiston Auburn area through 2 magazines, Uncle Andy's Digest and LA Metro Magazine, and the new Lydia's Lunch Bunch podcast. Each production shines a positive light on local businesses, nonprofits, events, and individuals making a difference in our community. Keep your advertising dollars local and position your business in front of your target audience with Lydia Media. Learn more at lydiamediallc.com. Bonnie, we like to close out the show with, I think you're familiar with this little segment called 3 Random Questions.
Oh, sure.
Okay, go. She's all about it.
I've been practicing.
How do you practice random questions?
No way to practice.
Oh,
with the
lines of
random
movies,
questions.
because you got me that day.
Oh, did we? All right. So we're each going to ask you a question. I'll start. Bonnie, if you were not the administrator at the Chapman House, what would you be doing?
I would be running my own business.
And what would that business be?
It would be a combination of reselling sports equipment and having a coffee bar.
Ooh.
What?
That's interesting.
I might be an
I was
investor.
going to say, like, that fits right in with all of
I
us.
know.
Like,
So
coffee,
while your
sports.
husband's looking at golf clubs or your kids are picking out their stuff, you're at the bar having a latte.
There you go.
Wow.
I love it.
Who's
Ready?
next?
I'll go.
You going? Yeah.
I'll go. Since we talked about The Walking Dead, the zombie apocalypse is coming. Who are the 3 people you want on your team?
Well, obviously, you guys.
Suck it, Daryl.
Crisis. Yes.
Perfect. All right. Great answer to that question. Move on. No, just kidding.
Who out of the 3 of us would you take on a mission with you while leaving the other 2 behind?
Probably Sarah, because she works out every day.
Yes, that's why I do it.
I would. That's not a bad choice. Yeah, I would agree with
I'll
that.
agree with that
And
one.
she's got pockets in her dress.
I always have pockets.
So she can hide weapons
That's
in
right.
there. And snacks.
And snacks.
And snacks. Yeah.
Snacks. Must have.
All right.
funny.
Fair enough.
All right. My turn?
Yes.
All right. If you could take any word out of the English language and throw it away and never hear it again, what would that word be?
Whatever.
Oh, yeah. Whatever.
That's a good
Yeah.
answer.
In that tone.
Right.
Whatever.
Because it doesn't fit my positive outlook.
There you go.
Yeah.
Mine would be esophagus. I hate that word.
Just because it sounds
It's just
bad.
weird. Esophagus. Ugh. Ugh.
I think you need your esophagus.
Ugh.
Yeah. Pretty sure it's essential.
Stop saying it.
What?
So
esophagus?
why the word whatever?
I just feel like it's disrespectful.
Yeah.
Yep. And like you don't care.
That's a good answer. That's
is
a
a
great
good
answer,
answer. It is a
actually.
good answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bonus question, Bonnie. Where does your positive outlook come from?
Oh.
Well, when I used to be incredibly shy, And then when I went to college, I was like, oh, I have to change or I'm going to be eaten alive. So I became very positive and it irritated people. So I had fun with it.
See, Sarah? Do you see?
I'm so sorry.
But I think, it takes less muscles to smile than it does to frown. So, yeah.
And it's a lot more work to be mean than it is to be nice.
I agree.
Right?
And you can be nice and still be mean.
That's true.
Right.
There's
Kill
a
them
difference
with
between
kindness.
nice and kind, right?
Gives it a new meaning, right?
I love it. Bonnie, thank you so much for your time today.
All right. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, and thanks for playing our little stupid game. We appreciate it. She is Bonnie Iwans, administrator of the Chapman House. And if you would like more information, you can go online to chapmanhouse.org. We want to thank our sponsors for today, Ruper's Beverage and Redemption and United Piping. And if you'd like to be part of the Lydia's Lunch Bunch advertising family, reach out to Pam. Right there.
That's her.
Via email at pam@lydiamediallc.com. Thanks for listening. We'll catch you tomorrow with Melanie Terrian, owner of Wicked Illustrations. Wicked.
It would be so much fun if we could paint while we were talking to her.
We should.
Paint and sip.
Paint and sip.
Tasting
She does the paint and
All
sips,
right,
Bonnie.
this is how we'll find out if
fun.
Melanie listens.
We
She'll
did
bring
it.
paint supplies.
Do you do that?
Paint and brunch. Yeah.
Oh, they do that at the Chapman House.
Nice.
See, that's what we should do.
All right.
We can head on
Well,
over there.
Again, Bonnie, you have our emails.
Okay.
Have a great Monday. Catch you tomorrow.